Welcome back everybody to episode number 2 of G1's World. We are starting this episode off on an adventure to the Meadows biome over here to pick up some of these purple flowers right here, which we are going to need for some of the purple dye, although we are going to keep some of it over here. I hope magenta is close enough because what I would like to do is make some of this magenta stained glass, turn this into the magenta stained pane glass here, which is kind of a hard thing to say, to be honest with you guys. And I want to do what I did in the last episode. I actually didn't point this out in the last episode, but if I turn on my full bright here, you can kind of see I have random pieces of gray stained glass, and then I have some of the regular gray stained glass kind of floating around here. Oh, also some white as well. I thought I only did the gray because it makes it look more magical, but I also want to put some down on here as well, not just around it. Mostly because I think that having the amethyst purple for the crystals and the amethyst block here, it just looks too similar, but having this kind of brighter, almost like a pink almost, I think it makes it look a little bit less purple, I guess. I don't know. I do like the way that looks. Even with the full bright on, it does look pretty cool here. So we're going to do some of that for over here and for the last spot up here as well. Ooh, that is looking a lot better, I think. Yeah, that definitely does look really cool. I really like it for over here as well. Yeah, I definitely have got to say the floating glass definitely does help. There are a few blocks that I'm missing that I cannot get right now, but I'm going to call this area a success. And I think I'm finally able to start moving my attention to the top area over here because I do have one big problem. Now, the other day I went and started working on my sword here. I wanted to get a good sword because I kept getting attacked and stuff. So I went to make a perfect sword using some of the books I got from fishing, which requires a lot of XP. So I was going to the village over here like I did in the last episode to trade and get XP and emeralds from the villager over there. And when I was coming back, I was riding Rupert. I could not find home. I had to look for this giant oak tree thing that I've been farming over here. This was my indicator that home was actually this way. Other than that, I would have had to look around, which for a place that I would like to call home is definitely a big problem. Now, what I would like to do is kind of make a custom hill right here, and I still want it to look like a cave. So what I'm thinking of doing is having like the whole of the cave kind of be like right here, and then that's where you would go in down here. And then I would like to build something on top of the hill right here. I don't know if it's going to be like my house. I don't know if it's going to be a horse stable for Rupert. Maybe both. I think that depends on how the hill turns out. So to begin, we're going to check really quick how much dirt we actually have. Okay, that is all the dirt I have. We are definitely going to need to go ahead and get more, but unfortunately my shovel is going to break here. So before we do that, let's quickly go ahead and make ourselves another shovel. My gosh, my memory is so bad. I forgot that this is called a shovel. I also have some XP, so we're gonna go ahead. Really, you guys again, in my last world, they spawned in every single episode that I recorded, literally every single one, and they didn't spawn last episode, so I started to get some hope, and now here they are. Anyway, that's a problem for me later. I want to quickly go ahead and enchant my shovel here. Let's hope for something good. Efficiency 3. Honestly, I am going to re-roll that because I was hoping for efficiency 4, which we didn't get either. Okay, we do have one more try. Please, can we get efficiency 4? Okay, and silk touch, that is actually pretty good, honestly. You can also see I did start to use these bookshelves here because there are some books here which have mending. I have 2 mending books here. I have one here, and then I have this one which has lunge 3 and mending. And honestly, I think it's okay if I put mending on this shovel. It's pretty much perfect, so let's quickly go ahead and add mending onto there, which is good. So now we can go ahead and get more dirt, which we're going to need quite a lot of for this hill. So let me quickly go ahead and do that really quick. Alrighty, so I have returned with a full double chest here of some grass and some dirt. Hopefully this is enough. I really do hope that this is enough. Now, I was thinking about how I want to do the hill. Originally, I was going to bring the hill out to kind of around right here, and then we'd kind of have like a cave entrance be right here that leads into the actual magical cave here. But I actually don't want to do that anymore because I think it would be cool if I didn't fall, but also I think it would be a lot cooler if we had the hill sitting on top of where the cave is right here. And then the idea will be that we have a cliff right here, but then on the other sides over here, we're going to have it kind of smooth down into the land over here. I think that's going to be the best option. So I guess what we're going to go ahead and do is make the cliffside right here. I don't want to make it flat as well, so I have to keep that in mind. But yeah, we're going to start by making up the cliffside here, and then we're going to make where I want the actual hill to go. And then that's when we'll start doing the fading and smoothing into the ground over here. I started off by building up the cliffside before making a flat layer for the peak of the hill. All right, so with this area area now done, I think it's time that we go ahead and actually start working on some of the hills. Now, something that's actually very interesting is you can see that this part here kind of jolts out a little bit, and that's because I don't want to just make this all one massive hill. I actually want to do something where we kind of have like a bit of a cliffside right here, kind of like how we have over there, but right here on this side, and that way there's just a little bit of variety, and it's not just a boring old sloping hills kind of going all the way down. It looks a little bit weird right now, just being flat walls going straight down, but we are going to come back later and make it look better. For now, this is just kind of like a reference to see that this is where it's going to be, and then we can kind of work around it. So I think at this point, we're going to start, I just realized I don't have a way up. But at this point here, we're going to start doing the rolling hills here. Yeah, this is where we're going to start putting it right here. We'll just go all the way up really quick, and we'll start just going around this way. So this is what I've done so far. Nothing crazy, but I've come up with two problems that I have. It's actually the same problem, I just have two of them, and that is I don't know how to make this kind of jolt out a little bit more. And then on this side over here with the cliffside here, I don't know how to transition this into the thing over here. Like, I don't know how to just not make a wall here, because it would look really weird just to have a wall here. So I really don't know what the plan is. Like, I don't know how to fix this. Okay, so first of all, I think the fix for this wall right here is actually to take it down. I don't think this is going to work. I do still want to have something kind of jolt out, like a bit of like a weird thing like this, but I think it's easier if we build out the entire like rolling hills here, and then we build it in afterwards and then connect it up to the top. I think that's going to be easier. But then how to fix this problem over here? Okay, this doesn't look that bad. I basically just continued the little cliffside going all the way down this way, which I didn't want to do originally, but honestly, it doesn't look that bad. And then maybe we can do something with this area over here. I'm not too sure. One thing that I definitely want to do though really quick is I don't love being able to see the grass blocks here. So we're going to quickly just go ahead and replace it with dirt really quick. There's another one up here. Yeah, this little spot right here definitely is the most important point, I think, because this is the transition point from the land down here into the actual hill right here. And yeah, I definitely think that this looks pretty good. Now, I was thinking of something else as well. For the other side, I think we're actually able to do something kind of unique. What if we connect this side over here? And if I quickly go into free cam and we can picture this from afar, imagine we connected this part over to this small hill right here. It's the only real option if you think about it, because otherwise you would have something that kind of slopes down to something like this, and then it would go back into another hill. Whereas this one, we can just make it go over to here instead, right? I think that that is definitely the option. It's gonna make doing the back over here a lot more work, honestly, but I am okay with it. Now, that does look a little bit weird, but what I think I would like to do for this part here is rather than making that top part kind of slope down into this part here, which would overall make this bigger, I actually want to make this part right here go down 2 blocks to that grass block there. And then from there, that's when we start the slopes going down and then eventually connecting it over here, because I want that top part again to be like its own thing. To begin, I started off by connecting our custom hill to the naturally generated one, like I mentioned. Then I moved on to making the sloping hills. And welcome back, everybody. This is now the finished cliffside hill here, and honestly, it does look pretty good, except it kind of doesn't because it's all dirt. Honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I logged back in after editing that time lapse was, I can't believe that a few months ago, I would have called this perfect. Like, I wouldn't have done anything else. I would have called it a day and never thought about it again. But here we are, a brand new world, a brand new me. Now, here's what I would like to do next. Now, I kind of want to make this cliffside here look kind of magically. I'm not too sure what I want to do, because I want to make some magical things here, right? Nothing too crazy, but I want it to look like some of the magic. I got shot by an arrow, apparently. I want to make it look like some of the magic of this cave is kind of seeping up through the dirt here, not necessarily making it to the top, but just like attempting its way up, you know? But the problem is that this entire cliffside is not the cave. So the problem is that if we do some decorating from afar, then this part might be decorated, but then those parts on the side won't be. So I'm not too sure what the plan is going to be. Actually, I do know what the plan is going to be. We're just going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to start off by making some of these stone kind of jolt up a little bit, because right now it kind of just looks like the cave just stops there and now there's dirt, and I don't really like that. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to start with the side over here, is we're just going to kind of go up just a little bit here, and we're going to use some of the cobblestone, some stone, and then also some mossy cobblestone as well, because I think that that'll help a lot as well. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was thinking. thinking. Now, the next thing that I would like to do is I don't love the way the dirt looks right there, but I do actually want to incorporate some of this rooted dirt that I got the other day whilst doing my live stream. Now, I don't know how this is going to look. This is kind of all that I've just pictured it in my head, but what if we kind of made this kind of go up the sides over here, right? So we'll kind of, can I reach that? I can. Yeah, like what if we just make this go a little bit here, right? We'll go here. Oh, that doesn't look bad. And that actually does connect to the moss down here, right? Because we have some moss there and then we have like the vines there. So that does connect back up nicely, and I honestly prefer the way the rooted dirt looks here, kind of like going in the ground instead of the normal dirt, honestly. Let's quickly try it over here really quick as well, because I think that this is the winner here. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely loving the way that that looks instead. I like how in some parts, like right here, it's kind of creeping up a little bit to the top, but again, it's never going to. I definitely like the way that this looks. And there's one more thing I wanted to try, and it revolves around this spot right here. So the idea is that we're going to be putting some water right here. Now we're going to have it fall down this way. Oh, that is a piece of grass there. That should be fine though, because water will sit on top of it. So it's going to turn it to dirt anyway. And then the idea is going to be that it's going to be falling down all the way. Except as you can see down here, there's nowhere for it to land. Except there is, because we are going to be using some of this. I think we'll go one up actually. So the idea that I would like to do is basically I want the water to kind of look like from the bottom over here that it just stops magically. Like there's no way down over here, right? So you have the waterfall here. When you're looking at it from afar over here, it looks like it's kind of going into it, but then when you get down here, it stops, right? That's what I really want. So I think the best way to do that is by using glass panes here. Now we're going to put some there. We'll put some on each side over here and over on these two right here. And then assuming I did this right, what should happen is those waters should fall right into there and stop. And oh, okay, it does. It does. Oh, let's actually see what it looks like. I'm curious to see from up here. Does it look like there's a waterfall? Yeah, that does. It does look like the waterfall is falling straight into it. And then when you come down here, right, it just stops. Oh, and honestly, the blue, even with the Fulbright on, like if I turn that on, you kind of can't really tell that there's glass there. I love the way that that looks. Now, I do want to do a couple more things, kind of like how we did with the crystals and like the random glass panes in the sky over here where they're kind of floating. I want to do something like that, except I want these to look like almost like splash particles, if that makes sense. So we're going to be doing some just kind of floating like this around it. Nothing too crazy, I don't think. And then what if we try doing some white pane glass on the bottom to kind of replicate the splashes, you know, like would that even look good? Like I genuinely don't know. Maybe can we put one down here? I think that's perfect right there. If we even look at it from the bottom over here, I really like that. Like I wasn't sure if I was going to like that, but I think it kind of stopping right here where, like we were mentioning, from the top up here, it looks like it's flowing in, but then it's actually not. I mean, that is truly magical. Now, I did have one more idea. I want to try putting it over here because I don't know how it's going to look, to be honest. So what I was thinking of doing is using the azalea leaves and the flowering azalea leaves that you get from the moss trees and just putting them in the wall over here. But I want to do something cool with them. And by cool, I mean I want to put some moss behind it here because I think moss does affect, wow, it is very dark back here. I think looking at it from the, I was going to say but I guess through the leaves, you can, I think, oh yeah, you can. Wow, I really suck at explaining things, don't I? What I was trying to say is that you can actually see the moss through it over there. So if we did dirt behind it, I feel like it wouldn't have looked as good, but I do actually like that there. Yeah. The only thing is, do I like it enough to put it everywhere, like around the entire thing? Honestly, I kind of think so. Okay, so I've done 3 of them so far, and I don't mind it. Okay, what do you think? Can you guys even notice it? Yeah, I think that's like honestly perfect. I'll be honest, I'm really debating if I really enjoy that right there, because it does look really cool, don't get me wrong, but also on the other hand, I kind of like how it's all dirt here, right? Like maybe, I don't know. It just looks too abrupt for me, I think. So what if we try replacing these here, which I'm going to collect as I don't really have that many of these. So what if we collect these and instead we put some of the coarse dirt here, right? Where it's still that dirt look, but it's just a little bit more rough that hopefully can break up the dirt and rooted dirt texture, right? Like maybe it does a better job than this would, like I don't know. And let's check it out and oh, honestly, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not, I kind of do. It's actually perfect. You can kind of see two different parts of it. You can see what it would look like with the green here, and then you can kind of see what it would look like with this over here. And personally, I do think that this area over here does look a lot better. This just kind of like how I was saying, it just looks too abrupt, right? Like it's just kind of there. Like it doesn't like this kind of looks like it's kind of transitioning into it, right? We have like the rooted dirt and then the normal dirt and then the coarse dirt right there, like patches of it. That just looks really abrupt. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of coarse dirt around. Okay, that is it now. I think that is kind of perfect. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this? I really do enjoy it. Now, I was thinking about ways that I could make the azalea leaves work, and I think the better way of doing it is if the grass up here was just a little bit more thicker, like maybe if I use moss instead, then I could double up the layers and then have some of the bushes there. I think that would help it a lot. I think it was a good idea to go with the coarse dirt. And honestly, the thing I like about the coarse dirt is that doesn't have to be the magical part. Like we could make the coarse dirt be everywhere else here. Like even on this part, which is not the magical part here, right? Like we could easily just add some of this here, right? Because it's still a variety. Yeah, that is looking pretty good in my honest opinion, and I think it's time that we finally work our way up to the top of the hill over here. We are going to be starting off by building up our house. Now, as you can see, we are starting off with the roof, which I know doesn't really make sense. However, I feel like roofs are not my strong point, and I want to make sure that the roof looks good, so I want to take the time to just build out the perfect roof, and honestly, I think it's looking good so far, I've got to say. And then what I ended up doing was moving to the house, which actually was kind of simple, but I still really do like it. You know, I actually do really like the house. I still feel it's kind of simple, which I do really like, but it still feels complex with it being kind of all magically and whatnot. I do really like that. Now, the rest of the mountain up here is a little bit boring. Now, I do want to go ahead and bone meal, kind of getting the grass and some of the flowers like we have down there, but I do want to make a path, and I actually want to try some of the azalea trees. I want to see if I like them. Also, yes, the inside of the house is not decorated. I'm probably going to save this for a live stream, to be honest. I really couldn't be bothered. Except that really bothers me. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to go ahead and grab a couple of pieces of these right here because, yeah, that is going to drive me crazy. Oh, look at that. So much better. Okay, so here's the path that we have. We have the path going into the actual house over here, and then we have the path that will be used for Rupert to go into his pen over here. And then we have the path going over this way. This is where it might honestly change. I don't really know where the path is going to go, to be honest. It's probably just going to stop right here for now, to be honest. Or I might do a second one kind of going over here, and then I think again on the live stream I will connect up a path going all the way around. I really couldn't be bothered to do it right now, but I do want to connect up a path going this way. Also, I'm trying not to make these paths be straight. I do like the kind of randomness of them, so yeah, I'm gonna do something kind of like this. I think that this is okay. And then yeah, I want to try some of these azalea trees around because I do want some kind of magicalness around here. Honestly, I don't mind it. Honestly, I think it would be kind of cool, and I can't do this now because I don't have the wood type, but if we could get the pale oak wood and replace the logs here with the pale oak to get that like kind of nice gray, I think that that would look honestly really cool for some reason. Again, I don't have it. That might be something we come back to in the future. Okay, so we have a couple of trees around. Let's quickly look at it from the top up here. It's nothing too crazy, which like I said, I don't really want anything too crazy. What I do want to do is bone meal the ground over here because yeah, I don't like how flat this is, and I think that these trees especially deserve to have a lot of flowers around them. Yeah, I think that does make them look a lot better in my opinion. Yeah, that does look a lot better. I will say I'm not a fan of building stuff with grass in the way. Like if you know me, I always get rid of the grass just because building with it is really annoying, but then I still do like the way grass looks, so I do like putting it in here. Now, there is one more thing I would like to do, and unfortunately, we're going to need to get some moss blocks, and I say unfortunately, because what I would like to do is make the trees over here have some of the glow berries underneath so that it's kind of glowing in the dark. The problem is you can't put them here. I am right clicking right now and I cannot put it there. So what we're going to need to do instead is we are going to go ahead and put some moss here. We'll put a moss block there, which doesn't look too bad. I mean, it doesn't look the greatest, but you can't really tell, which is kind of good. So we're going to take some of this and then we'll just kind of place some of these here. We're going to stop it there and we'll just get some light in. And yeah, you kind of can't see it now because it's bright, but when it's dark, that will glow. I'm going to go ahead and do them with all the trees real quick. Hopefully they look pretty good. And here we are. I have done all of the glow berries here and it is going dark right now, which is perfect timing. I do love the atmosphere here. You have like the magical house here, the kind of magical trees, but then the normal land here. It's kind of a nice contrast to the all magicalness of the cave down here. I really do. I love this area so much. Now, is this area considered complete? I don't think so. I mean, we have the small things like I mentioned with the pale oak over there, and there's probably a couple more items I don't have on me right now, or that I just can't remember right now, that I want to add here and make it more magical. Oh yeah, even from afar, you can definitely tell that that is where home base is. I'm going to call this episode a success. We wanted to make the home base visible from afar, and I definitely think we did that, and we made it look pretty cool as well. And now, my dear Rupert, you have a place that you can actually rest that is not a hole in the ground. Oh, look at that. You look so happy. And that is going to be it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, consider leaving a like and smashing that subscribe button. Oh man, I love this area so much. I hope you guys do as well. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.